Everybody, thanks for stopping by today. I'm glad you did. I wanted to talk to you about communication today. I saw some pretty pitiful examples of communication yesterday, and of course, it got me thinking, and I just wanted to share some thoughts with you in just observing. And, we all think that we talk well. We think that we communicate well. Well, communicating isn't just talking. Communicating is a process of many things that go on. And if two people are going to communicate, you have to know how to communicate. You're not just talking to someone, you have to know how to communicate this process. And here's what I'm going to share with you. When you're talking to someone, or communicating, if you're really talking to someone, you want to look right at the person that you're speaking to, or whoever's speaking to you. Don't just kind of turn your head and glance over if you can help it, because you should face the person that you're talking to. It's respectful to them, and if you were talking, it would be respectful to you. Just think about that. It's not always possible, I realize that. We sure wouldn't want the pilots in the airplane to turn around and face each other, but you understand what I'm talking about, I do hope. Another thing is, you can ask questions. Of course you can. But don't interrupt when someone's talking. Don't be planning your question and thinking about a question that something that they had just said when they're not finished. So you can ask questions, but there's a time when you ask questions. And when they're speaking may not be it. The other thing is, don't interrupt them. If they're talking, a question is an interruption. If they're trying to get a point across, give them time, give them that space and time to talk. There'll be plenty of time for your questions. Don't change the subject. If they're talking about something and they're telling you about something that is important to them, why would you change the subject that has nothing to do with what they're talking about? That's rude. Now, there are situations in conversations when everybody's bringing up things that happen and they're sharing stories. That's a different thing. I'm talking about a communicating conversation. Empathize with the person that's talking to you. What is empathizing? Well, it's appreciating, understanding. It's comprehending what they're saying. And you can do that verbally and non-verbally. Your non-verbal body language many times for many people speaks a whole lot louder in a loud volume more than someone's actual words. Someone can ask you if you need help with something. They'd be glad to help you, and they really sound sincere. But what they're really doing is they're looking at their watch and they're gathering up their stuff and they're rushing to the door. Well, if they really wanted to help you, that would not be the time that they're going to do it, right? So maybe they were doing that just to be nice, but maybe they weren't sincere. So watch your body language. And if someone's talking to you, put your phone down. Don't keep looking at your phone when they're talking to you. This is a terrible habit that the world has now with these cell phones. People are talking or you're talking to someone, and all of a sudden they're looking at their phone. Now, before, it used to be they were looking at their watch. Now they're looking at their phone, and they're not only glancing at it, they're rolling through it. That's awful, don't you think? So take an interest. Take a real interest that someone even wants to talk to you. Think about that. They don't need to talk to you. They don't need to pay any attention to you, but they do have some information that they want to share. Now, that's not for those who have to talk to each other because they work side by side. I hope you understand. I'm talking about a genuine conversation here, not the type that you have to do at work. You need to also listen carefully. You need to hear what the person's saying. There's a difference between listening and hearing. You can listen all day long and not say a word, but that doesn't mean you got one thought or one point into your head. You have to hear what the other person is saying and comprehend and understand what they're saying. And you can do that non-verbally or whatever, but you don't need to interrupt them. You really want to hear the genuine words that someone is saying. So when you're listening and hearing what they're saying, understand the genuine words that they're talking about. And if you have questions, let them get their point across and then ask questions. That's where a lot of disagreements start. You never let me finish a sentence. Well, that's true. A lot of people don't. They never let them finish. And that's where fights start, because people get frustrated about that. So when you're communicating, it's more than talking. There's a whole lot of other little things that go into it. All right? So I want you to think about that for today. And let me know if you've had these frustrating conversations where you can never finish a point until somebody else brings something else up. And you weren't even talking about that. It's rude. So be careful what you're doing. And if you want to reach my blog's homepage, the library where all of my blogs are kept, the link is on this video at dailyadversitysupport.com. And I really hope you guys have a fabulous day today. And when you communicate and you talk and you listen, enjoy the person that is talking to you, because they respect you enough to talk to you. And I will see you all tomorrow. Have a fabulous day. Bye-bye.